Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the lesson. I'm Troy Brenningmeyer. For this lesson, it's all going to be about the right hand. We're going to be doing some of my favorite alternating bass patterns. Now, what's alternating bass? Well, it basically sounds like this. Right? Different patterns where you've got the bass alternating with the right hand, right? Like that. That's your alternating bass. And for this, it's mostly 6th string and 4th string. Now keep in mind, I am in open D tuning, D, A, D, F sharp, A, D. And that being said, you can take any of these patterns and play it on Weissenborn and sound great in open D. I just chose lap steel. It's easier to record, honestly. But dobro in open D, Weissenborn in open D. If you look over to the right-hand part of the screen, you'll see a metronome. This is a metronome app on my phone. This is one of my favorite ones called Pro Metronome. It's what we'll be using for this, and I highly recommend using a metronome when you're doing these patterns. It'll really help lock in that rhythm. So let's zoom in on the right hand here and check out pattern number 1. Looks like this. With the metronome. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so what we've got is we got thumb playing 6th string, middle playing 1st, and then the alternating bass part is when your thumb comes up and plays that 4th string. Index will play your 3rd, thumb comes back to the 6th, middle finger plays 1st, thumb goes back to the 4th, index finger plays 3rd. So you see that pattern there? The thumb is basically doing this. Okay, and on the quarter notes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then the middle finger and your index, that's playing on the and of each quarter note. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Now some basic right hand technique. Keep in mind I'm playing my Duesenberg, so my right hand is kind of resting a little bit on these benders, but you know, if you didn't have the benders, you just had a regular lap steel. When you're playing this stuff, because you are playing all 6 strings mostly, you know, your hand is going to be hovering a little bit, kind of like that, right? Keep in mind your thumb needs to be in front of your index finger. Okay, so you're not having these collisions happening when you're playing this. Right? You don't want to hear that click of the pick there. And you really want to lock into that rhythm. So let's check out that metronome app again. 3, 4. If we slowed that down, for this app, you just use this dial. Let's slow it down to 60. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'm going to move that back up to 70. Okay, so there's pattern number 1. Pattern number 2, then, it's a lot like pattern number 1, except right on beat 1, we're doing a grab. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and you see that? Pattern 1 was just all 8th notes. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and here's pattern 2. Metronome. 2, 3, 4. Okay, and what we got there is we got a grab, thumb, and middle finger. And that's a quarter note, right? So we got 1, 2, and. Okay, on the 2 and, the alternating bass, your thumb comes up for that 4th string. Index plays 3rd. Thumb comes back to 6th. Middle finger plays 1st. Thumb plays 4. Index plays 3rd. So 6 and 1. String 4, 3, 6, 1, 4, 3. Most important part is make sure you got that quarter note at the beginning. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and check out pattern number 3 now. Pattern number 3, let me go ahead and play it for you. Sounds like this. It's real close to pattern 2, except we're going to be going on that 2nd string on the and of beat 3 there. So if you notice, in pattern 1 and pattern 2, we didn't use that 2nd string yet. So pattern 3, we start incorporating that. So keep in mind, thumb is going to be playing 6 and 4. And just so you know, I really don't use that 5th string much for when I'm playing alternating bass, at least. I know you could, that's the 5th of your chord. But I find that it sounds a little muddy, right? It kind of cleans it up when you play octaves like that, right? The higher D kind of sounds not as muddy as the 5th of the chord, the A. But you could put that in there. Okay, so pattern 3, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and that's string 6 and 1, thumb on 4, index on 3, thumb on 6, and the middle finger is going to be playing that 2nd string, and then thumb on 4, index on 3. So keep in mind that that middle finger is going to be playing your 1st and 2nd string. Thumb is on 6 and 4, index is on 3. 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And let's try it with the metronome. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Okay, let's move on to pattern 4.